complaint, and I have no doubt.
I don't think it was him that complained.
Oh no!
I should take this off of my LinkedIn profile.
Who else is lodging the complaint? It's not the two former assistants that were standing behind him at the press conference. Who's lodging the complaint? The players aren't lodging it. It was this kid. This kid lodged the complaint, probably under the fact that he did it a while ago, and Siena was like, oh, look what we have here. He had a really bad season. We could probably open up some research and do some digging. And then it was convenient that when that came out, Patsos wanted to decline or didn't want to say anything. He was going to get an interview the next day. Right before that interview drops, there's the comment about him pushing players in practice. That's convenient that comes out. He gives the interview, and then that happens, and then right after the interview, they drop the fact that he didn't give stipends out. Okay, so you just progressively kept giving more reasons to why you could justify a firing if you need to, so you don't have to pay out the back end of your contract. Don't act like I'm naive and stupid and don't see what you're doing here. You did the same thing to Kevin Ollie no more than 2 months ago.
Do you know why?
Penalty, yep.
I will tell you why he got fired. It's 100%.
Oh, he's blowing kisses at him. Oh, they're getting chippy down there. I love it.
100% because he just let the best player they've had in like 10 years walk in Nico Claret.
What were they going to do? You can't make a kid stay.
It was Claret versus Patsos. And clearly the school wanted Claret.
Okay, but the school lost out. You get nothing now. You have guys pulling their actual agreements. You're really going to sit here and with a straight face, if they have the nerve, first of all, I would love to see it happen just because I love a circus. Hire Patino. But don't sit there at your high horse and we're the saints. Yeah, you're really Satan-like. Okay, you fired Patsos over the fact that he said that a kid was a Unabomber. That's not even offensive. That's just funny.
Wait a second. Let's just take a second here. The biggest heel move in the history of heel, which, for those of you who don't know, heel is the bad guy in wrestling.
Kevin Owens, ending the friendship with Chris Jericho.
Well, any heel, right Hulk there. Hogan revealing he's the third member of the NWO, whatever you want to say. The biggest
Seth Rollins destroying the Shield.
The biggest heel move in the history of sports would be
heel move.
If Siena is announcing their new head coach, kept it hush-hush, and out walks Will Brown.
No, they've never...
Could you imagine the hatred that would come from you Albany fans?
No, it would never happen. Why
would
Will Brown happen.
That? I'm just saying, imagine a scenario where it's Will Brown. And in regards to that kid that pulled his commitment today, if I'm Will Brown, I'm calling him up and saying, you clearly like the city of Albany.
Oh, yeah, no, I would too.
You clearly like the city of Albany. Why don't you come uptown and we'll get things done?
Oh, I would 100. That's actually what I was thinking about when I did. I have a huge problem with this Siena thing because I don't think it was handled correctly from the jump off. If you wanted to make this announcement, it should have been you gathered all of your facts, you talked with Patsos, and you figured out what the best way to go was. This was a publicity stunt to justify their firing if they needed to do it. That is what this was. I'm not stupid enough to think that it's not.
I think, in addition to that, there are things... The school wasn't happy with him pulling that stunt of pretending to shake people's hands. It made the school look bad.
Whatever. Do you want to look good or do you want to look like you're on TV? Because you're only going to get one.
So, Siena has a history of performing well. And they haven't in years. That's why they fired Mitch Bonaguro. That's why Fran McCaffrey left. Because he saw the decline of the program.
No, he left because he was good.
No, he left because he was good, and the team was getting worse. He didn't have Ryan Rossiter anymore. He didn't have Kenny Hasbrook anymore. He didn't have Eddie
Cantor
Ulis.
was here today, getting honored at the New York State Capitol for Turkish Day.
Yeah. What?
I just see this now. Sorry. Just saw that.
So, that's why McCaffrey left. He saw, I'm good, they want me. Things are going south here. Let me leave while the going is good.
I understand. Okay, but my argument to you is, what does Siena think that they're going to become? What do you think you're going to be?
They also have... You
are nothing better than a 14 seed in the NCAA tournament forever. Period. You're never getting a 13. You're never getting a 12. It's never happening.
So here...
You play in the MAC.
That's the thing. If Rick Pitino comes, all of a sudden that gives them this clout that they didn't have before. Maybe the Big East comes calling. That's...
No, get out of here.
They're all Catholic schools now.
Yeah, no, I guess that's true.
They're not the Big East of old.
That's right. You're right. I'm getting insulted because I'm thinking of the Big East at old.
Yeah.
But I mean, whatever.
I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but when you have the name Rick Pitino and you have a little friction,
but I mean,
instead of making it work,
but that's the other thing. You
bring
can't sit
else.
here and act like you are doing this for the betterment of the program and the prestige that Siena brings you. To be honest, this is the only time that you've made national news all year.
Oh yeah, it's a shit
And
show.
even that is probably regional because people in Texas don't give a shit. But you can't justify. Right, but you can't justify firing Patsos for calling somebody a name, not even racial, not even making fun of the fact that he had a disability in any way. He didn't call him a retard or anything. He didn't even do anything that bad. Okay, but he's not. You're gonna fire him over this in the stipend thing. I don't really understand that. I guess that was somebody else's response. I don't care. And then, of course, you pepper in at the end. You're like, you know what? Let's give a little bit of Bob Knight to him and have him push somebody. Okay? Yeah, I'm sure that coaches get angry and scream things at practice. Like, when they revealed that on the radio, apparently he uses some obscenities at practice. Did you ever go to the Giants summer trainings? Spring trainings?
Yes.
For football? Okay? There were children there. And... and if you've ever heard Coughlin in your life,
oh my God, Tom Coughlin, and I'm gonna be very profane for just a minute. I was covering the Giants training camp at UAlbany one year, actually going through stuff because we're moving. I found my media credential pass that got me onto the field. And Ryan Perlew threw 3 interceptions in a row, and Coughlin grabbed him by the shirt and said, "You fucking piece of shit. If you don't get your act together, I'm going to cut you faster than an emo bitch." And Coughlin's old!
Coughlin's really old. Actually, the most surprising part of that was the emo reference.
Right!
Yeah. But see, what I was getting at is that idea. Okay, this is what you're complaining about in Patsos. You can't justify bringing in Pitino when he has... the scandal of paying players, the scandal of hookers, I mean, he's...
Bring the hookers to Albany!
Not to mention the reports that, like... and this was made reference to in a Times Union article today. It was like, we might see Rick Pitino out at a coffee shop with someone that's not his wife. This is what you want to represent, Siena? This is your high horse that you're getting on.
It doesn't make sense.
None of this looks good. The only thing I've gathered is this doesn't look good for Siena in any way, shape, or form.
Siena should have fired him earlier and made the push for Tubby Smith instead. Tubby Smith is a good guy.
Is Tubby Smith employed? Did he get?
Yeah, Memphis. Or no, he was Memphis. I don't remember where he's going.
Because Penny
Hardaway is now at Memphis.
I don't think Tubby Smith.
He got a job. I don't remember where.
I'm gonna find out.
Yeah,
because I like him.
Because I was looking it up the other day too. Like, what about Tubby Smith instead of Rick Pitino? Because Rick Pitino brings baggage like hookers. Tubby Smith doesn't bring that kind of baggage. He just isn't as successful as the Memphis Tigers are used to. So I don't.
High Point?
High Point, yes. Yep, he's the new head coach at High Point.
Whatever, they'll still be better than the Saints.
But how did we get to this? Because you said hired Jimmy Patsos as that coach for the Knicks.
Oh, I got there because there was the thing where Rick Pitino, if he was offered, if Dolan came to Rick Pitino, was like, "Hey, you want to coach the Knicks?" He'd be like, "Yeah, I'm going to take the Saints offer." Yeah. That was where I really got into it. But then I started on Rick Pitino, and it really...
Let's go back to the Knicks.
Ground my gears about those stupid Saints who are mascotted by a fucking Saint Bernard.
That makes sense. It makes sense. The Saint Bernard. Yes. And he's named Bernie. Anyways.
They can piss off with that. That sounds like an easy cop-out.
It does. Not like Damien the Dane.
We're going to make our religious college. We're going to be the Saints. Oh, what are we going to put on our helmets? A dog. Oh, makes sense.
God. I'm sorry. You don't have an image of God.
You can't do that.
Oh.
What about Jesus?
Let's flip it.
No?
It's a dog. Anyways.
Then they just start naming off saints. Peter? Anthony?
No. Paul? Thomas? Lewis? No, okay. Back to the Knicks, because that was actually really stupid, and I apologize for that. I have one candidate in mind that I want for the Knicks, and I've been telling you guys who it is that I want, and it is Shaka Smart. I want Shaka Smart to come to the Knicks, because he's a no-nonsense coach, but the players buy in. How else do you get Virginia Commonwealth University to the Final Four if your team doesn't buy in? Shaka Smart, please, if you're listening, which I know you're not.
Please tell me you're not recording anything else right now.
What do you mean?
Because I'm not going to watch that.
Yeah, no, I'm going to turn the TV off.
Okay, thanks.
We're just about done anyways.
I appreciate it. I really had a lot of questions. But I assume it's not you.
It's not me.
But part of me thought it might be.
I hate Zoe Deschanel.
Oh, well.
Yeah, something to watch after you get done with the show.
That's called the back of my eyelids, because it's late and I'm old.
I got a
Anyways.
game that starts in an hour.
Yeah, you do. Shaka Smart.
I mean, I like the idea. Shaka Smart obviously made something out of nothing.
Yeah. I mean,
I just don't see the Knicks getting any better with Dolan meddling around. I think he's going to, like, for lack of a better way of putting it, I think he's going to find a way to F it up.
To be fair, apparently he didn't have anything to do with Perry's hiring.
that was all Mill.
So we'll see,
Right, but my question is, that's the thing. Let me ask you this. How long do you allow, like, it seems like we watch progress happen with the Knicks, and it's like, okay, he's not touching the Jenga tower. It's good. Ah, you get it.
No, so here is everything you need to know about Dolan. He's such terrible timing with things. So Phil Jackson comes in. We're all happy at the beginning, right? Right when he was hired. Man, the echo in here is just ridiculous without all of our stuff. Phil Jackson comes in, gonna save the team. Wants to sign Carmelo to an extension, and he does. But Dolan's like, no, you got to give him that no trade. Got to give him the no trade. Give him the no trade. And so he's too hands-on. And because of that, the Knicks got screwed because they could have flipped Melo back when he was worth something for something better than Dougie McBuckets. But as soon as Phil Jackson starts really mussing things up, he's like, you know what? I'm going to be hands-off. I'm not going to fire him. I'm going to be hands-off. Like, what are you doing, sir?
Yeah, no, his selective times to, like, decide when to do things.
Get off your banjo and please fire Mr. Jackson.
He has the worst timing ever when he decides to do things. The worst.
Oh, I never finished what I was saying. I highly, highly doubt he would hire Isaiah Thomas in the height of the Me Too movement and all of the sexual harassment scandal going on in I almost said Washington.
He's not
Washington.
He's not that dumb.
Hollywood. No. I'm pretty sure if he was like, you know what? I think we should hire Isaiah Thomas. I'm pretty sure either Perry or Mills would be like, listen, we're going to have to Stephen Jones you, Jerry. We're not drafting Johnny Manziel.
I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. I think, we should look at Isaiah Thomas again. And there's a lawyer in the back of the room that goes, nope.
No.
We're not doing that.
No, guys. He's playing in the NBA. Could be worse. They could go for Jason Kidd. Could you imagine Jason Kidd coaching the Knicks?
I mean, he did it when he was a player, but yeah, I don't like him as an actual coach.
No. So, I want Shaka. You also had mentioned Fizz.
Fizz, I think, could work. He didn't work on the Grizzlies, admittedly, but he was trying to run a completely different offense than they did, and they already had established veterans, established identity, which the Knicks really don't have. We got a couple.
Oh no,
of
they've got an identity. Defense.
Well, without Porzingis, yeah, I'm inclined to agree.
Even with Porzingis, their defense was atrocious.
But they're like a perfect team that he could fit very well into. I think it could be an excellent partnership.